This is my Ishmael book, and this is just a note of the question and what I wrote. My two unique stories is the jellyfish story and the when Ishmael was talking about the diversity. The reason why I think the jellyfish story was very unique is because it really shows how us humans think and how we make everything revolve around us, and we're not open to other things, and we just make everything about us. And then for the diversity, us humans don't, well, we really, even just within ourselves, we struggle with diversity. So it's even harder for us to think about diversity beyond human and also other species on this earth. Like how Ishmael was saying in the book, the law is promoting diversity and why we need diversity, and how it helps us. Diversity it will help us survive a lot of the world catastrophes, and it's really good for us. But if one species is extinct or gone, or one is taking over more, like how us humans take over everything because we think ourselves as God, we make it harder, and we make it harder for everyone else, everything else, every other living thing. And what I really like about this book is when in the first chapter it was talking about how Ishmael was talking about the wild, and it really opened up my mind on how I never thought of this, how we view animals as wild and dangerous. But if you think about it, that's really us. We are wild and we're dangerous. Animals, just like us, we have unique characteristics that make us human. They have unique characteristics that make them them. A tiger, a lion, they're all different from each other because they all have different things about them that is very unique. We also have that, and we don't view ourselves as wild or dangerous. We view ourselves as civil. And what makes that different from animals? They are civil. They don't attack anyone unless they feel threatened, or they are in danger, or they're defending themselves when they are going out for food. We humans store food for weeks, for later, for this, for that. We do whatever we want to do. We are dangerous. We are wild, and I really like that. The reason why I think you assigned this book to us is because it relates to what we're learning in class, and it relates to what is happening in our world right now, and how young minds like mine need to be more open to new ideas, or it might just be even not an old idea, but an idea that has always been there but we just never looked at, And what I took away from this is that we need to understand that not everything is about us, and that we need to submit to the law that is already there by the world, that we also need to follow, just like how every other species is following. We need to start doing that. I think Daniel wrote this so that he can try to share awareness and share his point of view on this, and how because in his book he was talking about how we are taught this since a young age, so we're brought up with this norm without questioning it or thinking beyond and outside the box, and I think that's why Daniel wrote this book, for us to be more open-minded about things. Does this make me more hopeful or less hopeful? I'll say kind of both in a way. Like, I'm very hopeful because we have books like this to educate us on the topics and open up our mind and show us other perspective on things, instead of just on how humans view things, you know, how he was categorizing there's a taker and there's a leaver, and how takers, which are like humans like us, are going to die soon. Like, we are making it hard on ourselves. And one thing in the book that it said was, we are literally at war with the world, you know. That's why it's so hard for us to abide by its rule, because we don't want to, you know. And we need to abide by the rule for this to end, for this to work out. And the reason why it make me, and that is the reason why it make me hopeless, because a lot of people are going to not a lot of people are going to have this class and have somebody to teach them to be like this. But even if they did, a lot of people would still be like, oh, that's still not my problem, you know. That's just how the world works. That's just how things are. I can't change the world. I can't do anything. So I don't think much is going to change anytime soon, and I don't think anybody is going to change unless it is happening to them. So they will not, people will not do anything unless something really is happening to them. Then they feel that they would need to do it, but other than that, they won't. And I really like this book, and I'm so glad I read this, and I'm really glad I'm in this class, and it really opened up my mind, and I want to be more of an egocentric person, because at the start of the class, I feel like I was very much more egocentric, and I wish to change that. And hopefully there's a lot of people who think like this and think that we have a problem, and we the only way we are going to, well, one of the ways, or maybe we haven't seen other ways, but one of the ways that we're going to be able to change this is to start living by the rule of the world that is already there from the start for us to follow.